Why is it important to experience polarity in our lives? There's three big reasons. First, we'll start with experiencing masculine energy, and we're going to discuss it within ourselves and then in relationships with others. The masculine energy within us helps us manifest our dreams. It actually makes things happen. It protects us. It protects us from harm. It protects us by keeping us on the right path. It's that assertive energy that lets us keep walking forward. It creates structure in our lives so that we can explore the chaotic feminine within our lives. It's the balance of the feminine. Experiencing the feminine within us. And again, this isn't a different previous idea of what feminine means. The feminine is that which receives. So this is how we hear intuitive wisdom. It's how we honor our emotional state. It's also the chaos that balances the structure. And it's not chaos in a bad way. It's chaos in the unknown way, the infinite potential way. So it's that honoring that part of us that we don't understand, that infinite part of us. And there's many more things we'll get into more in the course, but when we can honor that feminine within and listen within, hear our emotions, hear our deep truths, honor that chaotic aspect, within the strength of the masculine that protects us, that creates structure, and then takes that and walks forward in life, we are extremely happy people. The third part of it in the experience within is that we then experience union. Because when the masculine and feminine come together, they come together like that yin-yang symbol, and we feel whole and we feel balance. So what that means is, as a human being, we walk around happy because we know that we have intuition that we can hear and that we honor. We have confidence to know that if we feel called to, we'll make it happen. So we're happy, right? We try things, it works, it doesn't work, but we're fully alive because we listen, we do, we honor our emotions, we protect ourselves, we are complete. This is almost unheard of in our world today. So when we experience polarity with other people, this is where we genuinely connect and have the potential to experience union. And union is bliss. And we'll get into more of that in other videos. When we're having a conversation, if I talk, then you talk, then I talk, then you talk, we're not actually connecting if no one's listening, right? It's sort of when you're having an argument and I have a point to make and you have a point to make, and we really don't get anywhere except that we each stated our points. But there's no connection. There's no union. To have union, you actually need someone listening and someone speaking. For the person speaking, they actually have to speak in a way that the person listening wants to hear, right? In our society, we have a lot of talking and forced listening, right? And that's not union. That's not actually connection at all. But if you actually said to someone, let's say I was in the feminine, and I met someone that I really wanted to hear more about their opinion, and I said, I would love to know more about that. I've never heard anything about that before. So then I fall into this beautiful receptive state, and I listen. And the other person goes, well, let me tell you. And I am wrapped in attention, right? This creates something very beautiful. Or it's like being in a classroom where you want to learn something from a teacher. And there are those moments in school where the teacher suddenly says something and the whole class is listening. And something magical happens for that class for some reason. And for the rest of your life, you remember this one teacher that was really cool. But what you remembered was the union that happened because that teacher was able to answer questions that those students truly had in their soul. and a union happened, and it was magic. This is how we're designed to actually communicate and connect with other people. Giving and receiving. Giving someone something they genuinely need, and being able to receive something because we generally need it. Protecting the vulnerable. This is a huge deal, and this isn't a case of weakness and strength. It could be parents truly protecting their children. It could be helping someone on the street who just fell down and you just sort of pick them up and a connection happens. If the person doesn't receive your help, then you stay separate. But if they do, and they look at you and they say, "Thank you so much," and they fully received your help, you walk away with a little bit of joy inside of you, and they walk away with a bit of joy inside of them. We make a story up about it saying, well, at least there's good people in the world. But as a human being, to experience genuine connection with another person, this is bliss. This is what we're here for. We experience this connection in all interactions with others. Parents, children, siblings, friends, colleagues, bosses, writers and the readers, everything, teachers, students, governments and constituents. It's everywhere. It's everywhere we interact with others. One of the most beautiful places this applies is in our sexual intimacy. And this is regardless of gender, orientation, anything like that. This is how human beings are meant to connect. All of these principles apply here, which create a kind of merging that really becomes cosmic. It's very hard to explain. And very often, if you're studying something like this, you've experienced glimpses of it. Glimpses of something beyond just the physical. This is where this merging has happened. It may be in a moment where one person fell into the feminine and the other one naturally rose into that masculine, and the masculine truly followed the feminine lead, which sounds backwards, but that's actually how it works. And all of a sudden, a flow happened. It's like you just get wrapped up in a river and you sort of spiral together. If you imagine this yin-yang symbol circling as the masculine and feminine dance together, it isn't by being the same. It's actually by fully polarizing. And the more we can polarize, the bigger it gets, right? If you imagined on a top, if people were close to the center, it only spins like this. But the further apart we get, the bigger the circle, the bigger the energy, the wider the cosmic experience. It truly is this way. And the other beautiful part of this is by polarizing, we strengthen each other. We strengthen within in ways that we can't even fathom. It's almost because it's so vulnerable and so connected to go deep into that polarity, to go deep into our masculine strength, that confidence, that awareness, that ability to read another person. It gives our soul purpose. And when we've come into that feminine, fully releasing, surrendering to God, to another person, to ourselves, to our own passion, it's like it fleshes us out in a way that makes us completely human. So experiencing polarity, it's genuinely the most beautiful vehicle of growth. Whether it's within intimacy, whether it's within relationships, whether it's within parenting, whether it's within caring for others, or just simply interacting with the world around us. I'm sitting out in the beautiful sunshine right now, in the shadows, obviously. The shadows are playing with us. But I can receive the sun, right? I can fall into the feminine and receive this sun and merge with it. And that sounds kind of funny. But I can feel the wind and I can hear the birds, right? This is the magic. This is communion. This is feeling one with nature. connection is a really, really big deal to each other, the connection within, to our surroundings. It's where we find happiness. It's where we stop searching for happiness because we actually feel it within.